Hello, this is Anthony Effinger at Willamette Week. I'm back with another episode of Distant Voices, and today I'm talking with Lynn Lee. She's the founder of Society 9, a maker of women's boxing gear and clothing. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So we usually start these interviews with questions about how things are going during quarantine, but it's been a hell of a year, so I'm just going to ask you, how's 2020 been?
I think it's been a really powerful, reflective year. I want to acknowledge, though, that I can sit here and say that in my privilege of safety and comfort and having food to eat, roof over my head. Aside from that, it's been a really reflective year. On a personal level and a professional level, I've had to really ask myself what really does matter. It's funny, after a year like this, I thought before I did a good job of self-reflection, but this year I've had to reflect and really consider what matters like no other year.
That might be the most gracious response to that question I've ever gotten.
I mean, I know you're just meeting me for the first time, but I can promise I'm saying that with like the deepest sincerity. I feel very strongly when I say that, because I remember when the pandemic first hit in March, and of course the first thing I thought about was my parents, my grandparents, both of whom are 90. And, I called my mom kind of in a panic, but just like, are you going to the grocery store? Like, who's helping you out? Is there anyone else in the Vietnamese community who's helping you? Because she lives in Washington. And, she said something, I'll paraphrase what she said, but she basically said something along the lines of like, Lynn, like, we're going to be fine. Like, there's a plan, wear a mask, wash your hands, stay distant from people. Like, we escaped war. There was no plan. And we could die like at any time in actually like worse, horrific conditions, that not that a pandemic and a virus isn't horrible, but it's just like in conditions you can't imagine. So there's a plan here, stick to the plan and we're going to be fine. And so I think for her to say that to me, it was certainly like a source of pride for me, of just like, yes, I am a product of this. I am a product of this resilience. I give credit to my mom. Don't give that credit to me. I give the credit to my mom. So,
well, we might have to have her on here soon.
I'm sure she would love it. All she would talk about is the Seahawks anyway. So,
so tell me, how's the market for boxing gear and apparel right now?
So what's been really interesting is, like, as a business, we've always been predominantly direct to consumer, meaning we sell directly, we ship directly to our customer. Historically, we've been 80% direct to consumer, 20% wholesale. Of course, with COVID hit, wholesale evaporated. So effectively, we lost 20% of our sales. But what ended up happening was that we grew 30%. So in other words, despite the fact that we lost a sales channel, our business grew 30%. So what that says to me is a number of things. That despite being in an industry, right, like fitness, gym industry, despite being in an industry that's in kind of a precarious time because it is a shared space and it's one of the hardest hit, what it says to me is that people are resilient too. They are investing in fitness so much further beyond the reasons of physicality or vanity and more about mental health. I'll share an anecdote. We had a customer on social media post on Instagram stories. They live in Brooklyn. And they taped up a bunch of like kick pads and punch pads to a tree. First of all, they found a tree in Brooklyn. Let's just like identify that for a second. They taped up, like duct taped a bunch of kick pads and shields and stuff on this tree, and it became their punching bag. So, and they were wearing our gloves. So when I saw that, I was like, we're going to be fine.
Is there a market at all for, women, say, pasting pictures of some male politicians on bags and punching those?
like doing like a hex, committing a hex.
Sure.
On yeah. I mean, like, I definitely have a punching bag at home, and sometimes, yeah, like if I'm feeling really angsty, I'll print out a picture and I'll just tape it on the bag. And that's sometimes super fun.
I would say, I imagine it's cathartic.
It's a very cathartic, and it's a great way to physically manifest the feelings that I have inside in a safe space where I won't be judged, nor will anyone see.
Yeah, exactly. So how did you get into this?
I used to be a kickboxing instructor, and my first love was Krav Maga, so much so that I got a brown belt in that. And then when I was teaching kickboxing, I was really connected to the women in my class, especially. And that's really where the aha moment came, because they would always ask me where to find good gloves that could fit, because the only thing that was available were the bubblegum pink gloves that were 2 sizes too big, that they couldn't even like close their fist in. And it's like, well, you wouldn't wear running shoes that are 2 sizes too big, so why would you wear gloves that are 2 sizes too big? So that's what we're most well known for, is gloves that were designed to fit women. And it's still our signature product. 60 to 70% of our first sales with any customer begins with the glove. And we haven't looked back since.
Okay, what else do you make?
We just launched footwear. I'll throw a sneak peek here.
Yeah.
We launched footwear in May of this year. And this was a 2-year endeavor. We spent 2 years developing it, because it takes a lot of work to develop a shoe, as anyone who lives in Portland who works for any shoe business knows. But it was something that our customers always asked for, because in the boxing space, women are either buying like little boys wrestling shoes or constantly sizing up and down a men's footwear scale. And there wasn't really a shoe designed for wearing in and out of the gym as well in the boxing arena. Like most boxing shoes on the market, you can't wear outside because the sole is too thin. But our sole is an actual rubber sole that gives you a good grip to floor feeling, which is what you need in boxing, because you're pivoting a lot. So you want a really good grip on the ground from your foot. But you also want a shoe that lasts, like that you can actually wear in and out of the gym on asphalt. And so that's what led to the development of our shoe. Like I'm wearing it right now with some jeans. You can wear this. I've seen our customers wear it with like a t-shirt dress, or like wearing it on like a casual Friday with like a blazer and some jeans. Like I actually had a meeting with a woman a few days ago. She worked for an agency. She was wearing our shoe, and she was wearing it with like a blazer, some jeans, and a blouse on top. And for her, it was like a casual, fun sneaker boot. So that's what I love, is that, our tagline for the brand is like, for the fight in every woman. And it's like, you don't have to be a boxer to resonate with that, especially as a woman, or as a self-identified woman, I should say. So this has been like a labor of love, but it's also like probably my most proudest like achievement with the business, just because it's our first real like true to sport product. Like it's it's a boxing shoe, but it's speaking to people who don't even box. And that's what I love. So yeah.
So if somebody told me that I had to design a shoe right now, even if they gave me 2 years to do it, I think I'd panic. How did you learn how to do this? Did you have any experience?
I like to describe my whole experience being a startup founder as a blind running back who has like so much endurance, so much cardio. I'll run in circles, but I have no direction because I don't have the experience. The only thing I know is like the sport, right? Like I feel it in my veins. I connect with it. But I'm surrounded by, and sorry for anyone who hates New England Patriots or hates Tom Brady, but like he's still a phenomenal athlete. But I'm surrounded by Tom Brady's, like I'm very lucky to be in a place where the advisors I have around me, their networks, the people that they know have been around the block. They know how to develop products. They've done it for decades. They see something in this brand and where it's going and its uniqueness. And they're like, yeah, I'll help you. So, I've never developed a shoe. Obviously, this is my first time at the rodeo. I never designed a glove before this, but what I know is the customer.
Last thing, so tell me about 2021. What are you looking forward to?
Couple of things I can't tell you yet because they're in the works, which is really exciting. This year has been one of resilience, yes, because we had any number of challenges, just like any small business, but a couple of really exciting opportunities that I would have never, we didn't receive the opportunities pre-pandemic, but somehow we get it during a pandemic. So I'm really excited to release and share what that is once it's ready to go. But we have a couple of exciting partnerships that are underway right now. And we also are launching extended product line. Like we're launching a full collection next year for fall winter. And it's going to be like the first, what I call like a full point of view for Society 9. In other words, we're most well known for a boxing glove. Now we just enter the market with footwear, which is our first like real crossover piece. But what is it like then to create a full point of view for the brands? Like if we were to outfit our customer head to toe, what would she look like?
I'm going to send my daughter to your site. She's a very aggressive soccer player who I think
Hmm.
boxing might appeal to her maybe a little too much.
What position does she play?
Center mid.
Oh yeah, like absolutely. I mean, boxing is a really great anaerobic workout. I mean, it'll work her cardio like nothing else. So yeah, I mean, I have no doubt that she already has great cardio, but boxing will like train her entire body because you have to engage all of your lower body first of all, but then your cardio up front or up top. So she'll get a full body workout doing boxing. So if she wants to cross train, boxing is definitely the way to go.
I'm gonna recommend that to her. It's so nice to talk to you. Thank you so much for this.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for having me.
You bet.